Hey, everybody, welcome. I'm so excited because this episode, this one right here, is the kickoff to, you guessed it, season 3. You see, but we're not going to go on as Lead Sell Grow the Human Experience podcast. That title is going to be retired, and I'll explain to you why. The show is now going to be called Relentless Goal Achievers podcast. My name is Eric Konovalov, and I'm your host. And let me explain to you why I did this. You see, over the last 3 years, I think when COVID started, I reached out to my buddy Harry. I said, "Hey, dude, let's start a podcast." And it was like, we love talking about leadership and sales and personal growth. And that's what we did for the last 3 years. I mean, you can see all the episodes. Some of you probably followed along. We had some incredible guests, some good times. And then about 100 episodes in, I noticed Harry was all about sales. So I said, Harry, you should start your own podcast. Um, he was writing a book on sales. He wrote an incredible book and started his own podcast. His book is called Selling with Dignity. So Harry and I split up. We're still really good friends. And Harry's focusing on sales. Me personally, I really enjoyed, it was Lead Sell Grow the Human Experience podcast. I really enjoyed that human experience part. So I would have stories on my show about overcoming and people who started out with, nothing and made something out of themselves. Or like the last episode we did was a refugee, like a war refugee turned into like a super successful biologist, and man, some really, really cool stories and absolutely loved it. Well, when we started the podcast, when we started Lead Sell Grow, it was COVID, and so I had my company, I had a job, we had the podcast, everything was kind of siloed. Well, about 5 months ago or so, I started Relentless Goal Achievers as a group. See, my company's called The Goal Guide. I started Relentless Goal Achievers as a group coaching group where we meet 3 times weekly. One call is a coaching call. The other 2 calls are live Q&A. I'm sorry, one call is a teaching call. The other 2 are live Q&A and coaching calls. So people hop on Zoom. We discuss challenges and help them get through it. So that's that. So now I have the Goal Guide, Relentless Goal Achievers, and then I had Lead Sell Grow. Nothing was kind of in alignment. So I wanted to see, how do I align this stuff? How do I get everything to kind of sync up? How do I get my listeners? How do I get you guys from here into a community, into potentially our group coaching group, into potentially one-on-one? That's in reality what we got going on. That's kind of the buyer's journey, or my client's journey, if you would, for people who don't know me, all the way to people who are working with me. But I wanted to make sure that everything's in alignment. So I'm kind of, pulling back the curtain, letting you know exactly what's going on, how I do things, and what we're doing, because I believe in transparency. And so I took the Lead Sell Grow group and we turned that into Relentless Goal Achievers community on Facebook. So that's completely free. I'm going to be adding a ton of value there, going live. So if you're not a part of that group, go join that group, Relentless Goal Achievers community. And yeah, just this will give us a chance to connect and interact a little bit more. But why goals, right? Like, why is the company called the Goal Guide? And what's up with Relentless Goal Achievers? And what's my deal with goals? Well, I'll tell you, back in 2014, some of you probably know the story. I was not in the best shape of not just physically, but like mentally. Even though I had a good job, even though my family's great, even though everything's going well, I just did not know what I wanted out of life. I didn't know where I wanted to be, but I knew where I was. I didn't want to be there. So I wanted more. And I hired a coach. We started working together. And the first thing we did was got really clear about what it is that I wanted. What were my goals? And we set a goal. First thing we did was I wrote a book, started a morning routine. I was getting up and waking up in the morning, and I kind of, woke up with a purpose. I had stuff to do that day. And as I got into it and built my coaching company, what I realized is most people don't know what they want. Most people don't have goals that they've set for themselves. And I know firsthand what life feels like and what life looks like when we live on purpose, when we live intentionally, when we have those goals in front of us. And that's why my company is called the Goal Guide, I want to take people by the hand and guide them to their goals, whether it's companies, whether it's with their sales through executive coaching, working with their leaders, or people who just are lost. Maybe it's their relationships. See, there's so many things that fall under this, right? It's not just specific, like, money goals or something. I've helped people with marriages. I've helped leaders with their sales teams. I've helped companies with recruiting. I mean, you name it, I've probably done it. Been doing this since 2015, and do a pretty good job at it. Not to brag here, but I really do enjoy what I do. And so that's why goals. I think goals are super important. Um, while working with a coach, I mean, gosh, we did so much. It was great. But then I'll tell you this: I got into a 75 hard challenge a couple of years ago. And what I realized during that challenge, it was like every single day for 75 days, there was a direct, clear line of what a failure of a day was and what a successful day was. So if any of you have ever done 75 hard challenge, you know what I mean. And if not, there's a series of things you have to do every day, including working out twice a day, drinking a gallon of water, reading 10 pages, sticking to a diet, taking a selfie. I think there's something else I might be missing, but every single day you have to do those things. One of the workouts had to be outside. They have to be minimum 45 minutes. They had to be 3 hours apart, like cool stuff. But it made me realize that when the day had structure, when I had to plan and think through my day, when I had a goal for the day, I'm telling you, getting out of bed was so much easier than when I didn't. Same thing right now. I'm doing marathon training. Every morning I'm waking up, I'm kind of excited, scared, nervous, and excited all at the same time because, well, I hate running, but I'm running like crazy amount of miles every day. And same thing with writing a book, right? Just setting that goal every day. I would wake up knowing that, okay, this day I'm going to get one day closer to more pages in my book. That's why goals, okay? Goals are huge. And when I work with people who don't have goals, what they don't realize is that we're always being pulled. Whether you have goals or you don't have goals, you're being pulled. You're either being pulled by a vision of that future, of your desires, of your goals, of your whatever it is that you want, dreams, or you're being pulled by all the crap that happened to you in the past. Isn't it interesting that most people don't think? I mean, we hear about, oh, the good old days, but when you're alone, most of the time, the thoughts that come into your mind are not thoughts of just awesome stuff that used to happen to you. They're thoughts of negativity. They're thoughts of, why am I not where I want to be? Why are so many people better than I am? Why is this, that? What happened? And we're thinking about friends who screwed us over, and jobs who screwed us over, and clients who screwed us over, and how we messed up. All that happens day in, day out, day in, day out. We're always being pulled. But what we don't realize is that we have the ability to choose what pulls us. And in order to do that, we got to set the goals. So if we have a goal that's exciting, we're running towards it. Like, think of it this way. Think about kids. Like right now is the time of the year where kids are going back to school. And I see my kids, one, I got a freshman in high school, the other ones went to fifth grade. And they were so excited to start school, and reminded me of me being young and starting ninth grade and 10th grade in my senior year of high school. The day before school started, I could not sleep. I had to, get my clothes out, and I was thinking about what friends I'm going to see and the girls I had crushes on and what they look like after summer, right? Do you remember that? Do you remember that feeling? Just laying there and you couldn't wait to get up. Like, we jump out of bed an hour earlier that first day of school just so we can get ready and get out there to the bus stop and see our friends. That's kind of what it's like when you have a goal, when you're excited to get up. And I want people to feel that when they wake up. I want people to feel excitement when they wake up. Imagine a world where everybody wakes up excited instead of everybody waking up like, oh, it's Monday. I don't want to go back to work. Oh, I got to go back to work. Driving to a job we hate, hoping they don't fire us. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for anybody. I want a world with people that are full of hope, vision clear, maybe not clear, but the direction of the vision is clear. Maybe you don't know exactly what it's going to look like in 5 years, but you kind of have a hunch. Maybe it's, I'm going to own a business. I don't know what kind, or I'm going to own a consulting business. I don't know exactly what I'm going to consult on. It's okay as long as you have something out there that you're working towards. And that's what I help people do. That's what we do in our group. That's what I do as the goal guide. I help people get very clear on their goals. I help them get enough confidence in themselves that they can take the actionable steps. And that's exactly what we do week in and week out. So, with that being said, be sure you join the Relentless Goal Achievers community on Facebook. And other things I want to share with you is that I created a Relentless Goal Achievers arsenal. This is so cool. And now this is going to be a living kind of library, a treasure chest, if you will, of amazing tools, downloadable tools that you can use to help you in your life. So right now in that arsenal, there are 14 different downloadable things that you can do. Some of my favorites are selling using the DISC model. So I'm certified and trained in the DISC model, meaning we're able to tell what kind of, there's 4 different personality styles, and most people know their personality styles and don't care about others. Well, this document teaches you how to identify the personality styles when you're selling to them, what to do, and especially what not to do. Like there are some people that want a lot of details and others who want just the bottom line. So you got to be able to discern which one's which and deliver the proposal the right way to the right buyer. This document gives it to you along with 13 others. And the hope for this is, as I have guests coming on the show, I'm going to ask them to leave a gift, and we're going to put those gifts in the arsenal as well. So you'll notice there's a link somewhere to the arsenal. Be sure to click on it, register, get signed up, download all the cool stuff that's in there. I look forward to growing with you. If this podcast is going to add any value to you or is already adding value to you, please share it. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on our next episode. See you, everybody. We're going to have an amazing season 3.